goes there. You are here to see the council. Let me see you a little bit closer. I haven't seen you around here before. What brings you to Coruscant? Really? So that is why you are here. To report back to the council. I'm sure you are. My kyber crystal in my lightsaber is a little bit temperamental, so I would appreciate it if you would not mention this to the council or any other Jedi, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to give them the wrong idea. You just startled me, that was all. Your general demeanor and creeping about like that would startle any Jedi. Okay, well, follow me. We shall walk up to the entrance of the Jedi Temple. There you can state your business, and I will let you know if you could see the Jedi Council or not. Well, I'm sure you don't want to be standing out here in the streets of Coruscant. Of course you don't. Not at the moment. So, remember what I said. Tell no one about my kyber crystal. Follow me. That will be quite far enough. Thank you. So please tell me, who was it you said you were again? So you are expected by the Jedi Council. And what exactly is it that the Jedi Council want to see you about? Some private information? Well, being the head of security here at the Jedi Temple, it seems to me that the information that you are obtaining right now will have to be told to me in order to get past and enter the Jedi Temple. Obviously, we can't have any rogues wandering around the temple, especially at this sort of time. Well, Coruscant is a very uneasy place. There is much dispute and corruption, and who's to say you are not here to corrupt? Well, you say you are force sensitive and you're a Jedi. Then why didn't you tell me this previously? I have never seen you here at the Jedi Temple. I know every single Jedi that has come to this temple, and you are one of those which I am not familiar with. Please tell me why that is. Really? You've been in the Outer Rim territories on secret missions? I find that hard to believe. Well, if you have been on the Outer Rim territories, by all means show me your lightsaber. Show me the weapon of a Jedi. By all means show me. Ah, of course, you don't have it. You don't have one of these, do you? No, of course. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight, and in order to obtain this, you need a kyber crystal. you claim to have one of those. I don't think so. You have one with you now. Okay, then show me. That, my friend, is no kyber crystal. They tend to be a little bit larger than that. Well, I don't really care what the council has told you, to be honest. That isn't a kyber crystal, so I should be confiscating that from you. You may get it later on, once we manage to find out what you are and what you are doing here. Of course, I can't imagine that the Jedi Council would allow someone like you to be a part of the Jedi Order. Look at you. You really don't look like a Jedi, or someone who would wield a lightsaber. That clumsy walk of yours and encounter earlier on, and your general look, and the odor which seems to surround you, which tends to be quite potent. No, Jedi do not have the characteristics like yours. Yet you keep telling me you're a Jedi. Of course you are. Well, we can determine this right here, right now, before I let you any further in the Jedi Temple. We can undergo a couple of tests together, can we not? Would you be willing to do that, to confirm that you are indeed Force sensitive, and I could let you through to the Jedi Temple, accompanied of course, and I shall take you directly to the Jedi Council. The Jedi Council have entrusted me to make sure that this temple remains safe, and regardless of what you saw of that lightsaber earlier on, I can assure you that wasn't mine. It's a red lightsaber which I found, but if you tell anyone about that, then of course, well, I won't need to say anything, will I? Good. So, before we begin, I shall be taking out a little thing I'm sure you're familiar with here, and this is to determine my own safety. So what I'm going to do is just take a quick hologram of you. That's it. So this is going to be scanning all your information. That's it. If you could just keep looking at me or the light, follow it around, and this will ensure my safety, as I don't entirely trust what you're saying. So this is now recording you and is sent back to the other Jedi, the security section of the Jedi Temple, and we now have a perfect hologram of you, so we can identify you and have all your information. Okay, just the facial details. I'm going to come a little bit closer. There we go. Now just look at the light for me. Great, keep looking at it. I know it's probably hard for you, amongst all the lies you've told me today. Okay, and to and from. Well, that will be a perfect data recognition for your hologram, for your image, and your face. So if anything indeed happens to me, then you have all your details, and I can assure you I will be the first to come to find you, should anything go wrong. Not that it should, if you are indeed what you say you are. So what we shall be doing now is simply going through a couple of things which we do to Force-sensitive people such as yourself, or so-called Force-sensitive people. such as yourself. And if you react to these anyway, I shall know if the force is moving in you, and if it is, then you will be clear to make your way right down to the Jedi Temple entrance, and you can be escorted to the Jedi Council. Okay, I didn't ask for any responses. Remain silent. Okay. Once again, I said remain silent. I simply need you just to keep looking at me. Don't worry what I have in my hand at the time. And then I can determine if the force is sensitive in you, and hopefully be able to get a visual midi-chlorian count. Just as I expected. Nothing to tell me that you any force sensitivity about you. So far, I shall be fair. You will tell me the truth. Are you force sensitive? You will tell me the truth. Are you force sensitive? You will tell me. Are you a member of the Jedi Council? Just because you can resist mind tricks does not mean that you are a Jedi, my friend. For all you know, you might be just an intelligent droid. Well, you certainly seem like one. Like a simple-minded droid, not a protocol droid who, of course, will say they are familiar in the 6 million forms of communication. You are probably familiar with one form of communication. And even that form of communication, I wouldn't say you perform it too well. feel the force around them, as do the Sith. I expect you've heard of those, have you not? You are not familiar with the Sith. Well, most Jedi in the temple are very familiar with the Sith and the ways of the dark side of the Force. You are not. Familiar at all with their ways. Sith were once Jedi, and like what you claim to be, a part of the Jedi Order, until they attempted by the dark side of the Force. Then they become what they no longer appear to be. They become something else. Maybe someone like you. Or maybe someone like me. They can be anywhere. There's been no knowledge of the Sith for more than a millennium now. Yet they endure. They could be undercover anywhere, doing things like testing to see if someone is Force sensitive, and if they are, then maybe they get an opportunity to use the dark side of the Force and learn things no Jedi is capable of learning. Maybe even become an apprentice to an almighty powerful Sith Lord. Are you insinuating that I myself are the Sith Lord? Of course not. Why would I be here as the Jedi Temple? I am in charge of security. I have to make sure that you are not knowledgeable in the ways of the dark side of the Force, and this isn't a trick by the Sith Lord. Well, just as I suspected, there didn't seem to be any particular Force sensitivity showing with you. And try something a little bit different. Don't worry about what I have in my hand. In order to gain access, you must adhere to my rules. This seems to be somewhat problematic, as I sense something in you. Or at least I thought I did. Like the Dark Lords of the Sith, they can hide their Force sensitivity. You yourself told me that you were a Jedi, and sensitive, knowledgeable in the ways of the Force. Yet, I can't sense it in you. It is hidden. And only the Dark Lord of the Sith knows how to accomplish power like that. Well, I am not insinuating anything, merely being cautious. That's it. Just keep focusing. You may be allowed in the Jedi Temple sooner than you think. Sense the Force in you. You appear to be what you see, knowledgeable in the ways of the Force. But of course, you could see the Jedi Council report back on your mission. Or there is another option. Something more rewarding. I sense power within you. for what we have determined today together. You are indeed force sensitive. The way you are reacting to these tests, simple tests, I felt it immediately. You would make a powerful SITH apprentice. You can accomplish things together that you have even dreamed of doing. Make your connection with the Force stronger. It's all there inside of you. All you have to do is embrace it. Or of course you can go to the Jedi Temple, report back to them, and maybe transpire what has transpired here today. But I'm sure you won't do that. No. Well, someone as simple-minded as yourself has probably forgot everything that has transpired here today. I myself have a gift. Even Jedi can't resist my Jedi mind tricks. Sid, you have forget what has transpired here today. You have had no encounters with the Sith. That's it. You were allowed to be escorted straight to the Jedi Council. And you will forget who I am. Good. So, you wanted to go and be escorted to the Jedi Council. You look somewhat startled there. Don't worry, you probably have been on a long mission. The Council are waiting for you in the Council chambers. Follow me and I shall escort you there.